We believe that we can change the real estate industry. There is a better way to sell real estate. If you want to have exponential growth, the most critical thing that we can do is teach you a different mindset, how to think strategically, how to look at doing the right things in the right order.
It's rapid growth. That's what we're doing. That's what we stand for. That's our purpose. That's why we exist, because there's no one out there that's doing this for us.
So I'm going to show you how to double your business, make a ton more money, and build an exit strategy by partnering with us without ever having to pay us a penny, give up a percentage of your commission, or having to pay for coaching, training, or technology ever again. My name is Jay Kinder. Me and my business partner, Michael Reese, founded the National Association of Expert Advisors. We actually sold a ton of real estate over year. At one point, we're selling over 800 homes a year independently in 2 different markets. And for the past 15 years, we've been known as the go-to guys for accelerating the growth of agents that are seeking to grow past that 100 transaction barrier and really become the dominant agent in their marketplace. And in 2016, we started a partner program with 10 agents that we helped build to 272 transactions in 1 year by helping agents like you become the dominant agent in your marketplace. And I'm going to share exactly how we did that and how we're going to do that with you when you partner with us at EXP and the Honey Badger Group. So over the years, we spent a lot of time with a lot of different folks learning how to build successful businesses. We've had some of the best mentors in the business, and our company NAEA was actually 6 times in a row on the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies list. So we know a little bit about how to build successful businesses, and we're super happy to be able to help you do that as well. And here's what we're here. We started out in around 2005 with an information marketing business. With our real estate companies, we were selling real estate. Then we started helping other agents, and then we started coaching agents through Kinder Reese Coaching, and that was our coaching model, where you would pay us, $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month to be a part of our group, and we would coach you individually. We evolved that to the National Association of Expert Advisors, and then we started partnering with agents, and we had started a broker in 2016. We moved that all over to EXP in 2017, and we'll explain exactly kind of what all that means, but it's really all about how do we add more value to you as the agent, because we were frustrated agents that were trying to grow a business and ran into all the same problems and challenges you probably have as you've grown your business, and we just wanted to help you solve those problems. So here's how we're going to show you how we're going to do it. Over the years, early on, you may recognize some of these folks, maybe not, but we paid everybody, from Brian Buffini to Howard Brenton to Coach Ken to Craig Proctor, all of these guys that were coaching in the industry in real estate, and they all would teach you something valuable, right? There was something, Mike Ferry was like prospecting, and Proctor was like direct response marketing, and Buffini was by referral only, right? Well, those are all pillars to the business, but I became very frustrated when I realized that no one was teaching me how to put all this together and systematically know what are the right things to do in the right order. And it wasn't until a good friend of mine, Mike Reese, actually ran into me at Lake Texoma. This is actually a photo from that day. And I was probably really young right then, it looks like, now that I'm llooking at it. But he asked me, like, man, how are you doing what you're doing? I was selling a couple 100 homes a year in real estate, and I was probably 22 or 3 years old. And I said, you know what? I really don't know how I got to be successful, because I did so many things that didn't work, and then every once in a while something would work, that I didn't really know what the path was that I took exactly, right? And so Mike called me every day. Before he even left that weekend, he quit his job for managing a Bally's Total Fitness in Dallas, and he got into real estate class and started getting into real estate. Now, before Mike even had his real estate license, he had the same website I had, and he was using the same marketing I was using to generate 300 plus leads a month. So he started off. I didn't start off with that, right? When you get into real estate, you don't necessarily know what you need to do to get customers, or that's going to be your biggest problem. And so Mike started off with the right things in the right order. And what we learned is really within 3 years, Mike built his business to 1.2 million in GCI, and that the success was duplicatable as long as you didn't do all the wrong things and make all the missteps along the way. You could grow it a lot faster. He had got to $1 million plus in 3 years, where it took me 6 to do that. And so that was interesting. We realized, okay, hey, there's something to what we're doing here, and I think we could help other agents. That's when we really started looking at how to help agents that want to have a better life. It all kind of started at the lake for us. For us, it was always about having extra time and being able to be on the water on the weekends, and it seemed like the real estate business was as you got more successful, more and more time your boat sat in its slip or in storage. And so we wanted to help agents that wanted to build a life by design and a life by strategy. And so we had a mentor. We went outside the real estate industry. We met a guy named Jay Abraham. Guy charges $50,000 a day, believe it or not. And we started working with him, and he encouraged us to partner with agents, to basically take a handful of agents that you really like and that have good values and are coachable, and that you would like to work with, and partner with those agents, and just provide the same things that you're doing in your own business, assuming that they're all duplicatable, and help those agents with growing their business. And we're like, that sounds great. They call him the $9.4 billion man. So that was like great advice in 2005, 2006, and then really like the next 15 years became like this relentless pursuit, very much like this photo here, of a better way. Just trying to figure out how can we provide the level of service to you as an agent that we would have liked to have had as we were growing our business. And we had many mentors over that time period. Jay Abraham, as I mentioned, Dan Kennedy, one of the biggest marketing geniuses on the planet. Our financial modeling was done by a guy by the name of Greg Crabtree, with his book, Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits, and how do you build a business that you could ultimately exit. Lead generation, Frank Kern, one of the top internet marketers in the world. We flew with him back to his house on his jet and spent days with him laying out the lead generation models that we used here today. And, Success Magazine, everybody's probably heard of Darren Hardy. He's amazing. Another great mentor of ours and friend. And Clayton Mask, who built Infusionsoft, now it's known as Keep, to $1 billion valuation. We had to learn how to build an organization with people and leadership and the management skills that are required to do so. And throughout that time, we started coaching agents, and we had an average coaching client was doing around $838,000 after they had been with us a couple years. And so we had met a lot of agents kind of at that 20 to 40 transaction stage and helped them through the challenges of getting to that next level. And we called that the Exponential Growth Summit, is what our events were that we did. And really, Vern Harnish helped us with the scalability of that. Like, how do we help agents at scale? How could I help one? If somebody brought me 100 agents, how would I help 100 of them, right? So if I had one person I could help, I know I have a good system for that. But is my system good enough to help 100 or even maybe 5,000 at one time? So we had to learn scalability. How do we apply what we're doing at scale so that we can help more people be successful? And our discovery throughout this whole process of looking under the hoods of all these agents, real estate businesses, and helping them step by step kind of grow their businesses, that there is a step-by-step strategy that solves the right problems in the right order, so your business will actually grow exponentially. And it's real simple. I'd say it looks real simple on this slide. It doesn't probably look that simple, but at the end of the day, if you look at each one of these stages, at the top there's a number of transactions, and generally that relates to the problem that you're probably having, right? If you're at stage 2 and you're doing 15 to 25 transactions, or you're not quite doing a transaction a month at stage 1, or you're at 26 to 48 transactions, there's generally one or two things that we need to solve for you that will solve that for you and move to the next level. So at every stage of the business, wherever you may be stuck, there's one or two systems, if we helped you implement in your business, that you're going to go to the next level. And that was just something that we learned by looking under the hoods of all these different businesses. And at the foundation of that, 75% of every agent I've been in front of, or that probably will watch this particular video, is probably in stages 1 through 3. And so really that system needed to be built first. And so we decided we had to raise the bar and really raise the standard of excellence in the real estate industry. We created the National Association of Expert Advisors in 2011. And the reason we did that was because we needed to create a value proposition. So if I asked just about any agent in any room I've ever been in, what's your value proposition? Why should I hire you instead of hiring somebody else or hiring nobody at all? The answer to that question, or hiring someone that would do it for less, the answer to that question is usually a blank stare. And if you don't have a value proposition for why someone should hire you to sell their home, or why someone should buy from you if they're going to buy a home, then there's really nothing we can do in marketing, because all marketing is communicating your value to the marketplace. And so it starts with having to have a value proposition. So we created a system. It's called the Certified Home Selling Advisor certification, and it's an actual presentation you use when you work with a seller that explains the process for how you help sellers sell homes for up to 18% more than the methods of traditional real estate agents. And I'm not going to get into all the training because it would take a couple of days to get you through all of this and understand the system. But we wanted, if we train you to this system like a Navy SEAL, when you meet with a seller, you're going to win the listing. You're going to win it at your commission the majority of the time. This was a key piece to the puzzle. We did the same thing on the buy side. You need a reason why buyers should run red lights and come meet with you and want to buy from you above the competition. The other things this allowed us to do by being a platform like NAEA was that we train you, we give you the certifications, we can give you the done for you marketing pieces because we know what the contents of all of the presentations and materials are. We created videos that go out ahead of time, positioning you as the expert. Magazine tear sheets that you can order that have, the insides of that don't require you to have to think and write something. It's all done for you. Everything is easier for you to implement, and it gives you, a superiority in terms of looking at other agents in the marketplace. If they were interviewing more than one, you're going to look different, a step above, and so that's a real important part of the process. And then again, the training, all this stuff, everything that we do, you come spend a couple days with us, you can go online and take the training. But these are things you get access to when you partner with us at EXP that we used to sell for a whole lot of money. And so we want to make sure you have everything that's necessary. If you feel like you have been completely trained, maybe this isn't the most valuable thing for you. But if you don't know exactly what to say, if you don't know what the best way to present present to a seller or present to a buyer to get them to sign a contract, then this training is going to be paramount for you. It's going to be the number one thing you want to get done first. And so that's the first piece. And on top of that, we've done branding for agents, radio, direct mail, billboards, TV, anything you can imagine that might or might not work, we have done it. And so the things that we have, you have access to. The things that don't work, we'll tell you that too. But having access to things that have been proven to work for agents across the country in all different marketplaces, you're going to get access to all of that when you partner with us at EXP. So now we've come to Expert Advisor Partner. Expert Advisor Partner is where we decided we wanted to do what Jay Abraham told us to do probably 15 years earlier, and that was that find the right agents, do all the work for them, and just become their business partner. And so in doing that, we spent 10 years developing, refining, and improving the systems that we created, the technology and tools. And really with the goal of partnering exclusively with an agent in the marketplace and helping disrupt the industry together. That was our vision, and we had Expert Advisor Home Services, and this was a goal where we were keeping you face-to-face. Like if I could get you face-to-face on more listing appointments, I believe that you're going to make the most money. And that was something that we really focused on at Partner, and we're able to execute that for the agents that joined us. And so we actually documented this. If you haven't ever listened to Face to Face with Jay and Mike, that is definitely a podcast to listen to. We documented the entire journey. We were on a vision of 2,000 partners with Partner, and it was a 10-year, the 10-year journey that we were on. And ironically, we're in 2022, and we're at 10,000 partners at EXP with the same business model, just done on a different platform. That makes sense, right? So instead of you paying us a percentage of your commission or giving us referral fees or paying us a monthly fee, like our old models, you're able to do this without having to pay us. And so this was the system, the things that we did for the agents that joined with us at Partner. And that was Expert Advisor Partner. So let me just show you just a little bit of what you're going to get access to when you partner with us at EXP. If you're watching this video, it means that you're probably interested in production and you want to grow your production, and that's what we're going to help you do. So when you get EXP, all the things you get with EXP and the video that you should have watched already that explain the EXP model, plus everything you get from NAEA, and you become a part of the Honey Badger Nation, it is important to know what group you're joining. And the Honey Badger Nation is one of the biggest, fastest growing groups of some of the largest teams in the company. And so just make sure you know who you're joining. Whoever sent you this would not have been able to send this to you unless they were part of Honey Badger Nation. So if that's the case, you want to make sure you talk back with them before you do anything. So first of all, never have to sell again. You're going to win every listing. This is the CHSA program. You're going to have access to this online and the live boot camps that we do throughout the year. Same thing on the buy side for the for the CHBA, which is all the training, the videos, all the marketing pieces, the script books, everything that come along with that. You get access to that immediately when you partner with us at EXP. you're going to get the content, all the content pieces that we use to mail out. So along with the magazine tear sheet, the content pieces that go to a seller or go to an expired listing or go to a for sale by owner, all of those types of things you're going to have access to. And leveraging our live boot camp. So if it's you or if you have a team or you have agents that are on your team that you want to get trained, you're going to send them down to Dallas, and that's usually where we have it. We've had it in a few other locations, but you'll be able to send them down and get them trained. They come back trained like a Navy SEAL and ready to rock and roll and take over the world. Conquer the chaos and get your life back. So for agents that are typically in stages 4, 5, and 6, we have a course called Real Estate Agent to CEO. This is also a live course that we do at least one time a year in person, and also you get access to it online. But it's all about getting more done in less time, increasing your net profits, how to identify and hire A players, implementing the systems and processes you need and the leadership skills that you need to have in order to really run a successful business and get your time back. So if you're busy and you're feeling like you're working your tail off and there's got to be a better way, then this is going to help you with that. Exponential Growth Strategy Training. We broke down every system, document, video, and tool we've ever created, and the step-by-step system that we've used to coach agents to become the number one agent in their marketplace. And we broke that training down into a 6-week course that you can take with the documents and all the processes and downloads and everything that you need along the way with that. Clarity and a plan. One of the big parts of our success is helping you get clear on where you're at and what you want this thing to look like, okay? So once we help you with this part of the process, it becomes real easy to identify the problems that we need to solve and then find out what's in alignment and what's the right next step for you to go from where you're at to where you want to go. And so we'll help with all of these things and helping you get clarity and having a plan to move forward with your business. I think if we were all honest, I think every agent that I've ever talked to feels like they don't necessarily have a plan that they are clear on and that they believe in, that their brokerage or that anyone that they've coached with has really provided them. And so for us, this is a big part of the process. Weekly live training. Some of the top agents in the industry, we do interviews every single week with agents. There's a couple of stories I like to tell. One agent that did 300 transactions in our group that you'll get to meet, did 295 of them by referral or something crazy like that. Very close. I don't know if that was the exact numbers, but it was when I heard the numbers, I was like, what? I've never heard anything like that. And so I listened to the interview, and she was doing one or two things that were so simple and I'd never heard anybody say before, and I was like mind blown by that. And so that's something that everyone on this listening now should listen to. I promise you. Another guy that does 85% market share of all lakefront homes in a community outside of Dayton, Ohio. Just an incredible business model of really focusing on a niche and something he loves, which is boats. And so I'm the same way. I think if you're going to build a business, you might as well do what you love. And so these weekly training calls have been going on. So there's probably 100 or more of them that you can listen to. And then as we bring on other agents that are top producers, or if you're a top producer and want to get interviewed, we'd love to hear what you're doing that's working for you. But you're going to get access to all of this as well. Inside Sales Predictability Bootcamp. One of the things that we did in building the brokerage was going from 0 to 268 transactions closed in 12 months from scratch. Was building a call center and the lead generation system, sales scripts and processes, the compensation model for ISAs, hiring inside sales agents, and the complete hiring, training, and managing processes. All of this is extremely heavy to try to figure out. We did it at scale, and we're sharing all that with you. The boot camps we used to sell for a lot of money for you to come to that, but the actual videos and documentation and all the books and everything that go with that are going to be included. You have access to all of that. The campaigns that we use on the sell side, we have some Facebook campaigns that we're running today that are killing it on the sell side. In terms of return on investment, really good stuff. You're going to get access to those. And we've got some really unique angles that we're using with Facebook on the buy side that are generating low cost, high quality leads, right? Nobody wants to have a bunch of non-qualified leads. We're going to help you with qualified leads that are more interested in buying specifically in something that they're looking for. So these niches, targeted community ads are working extremely well. You're going to get access to all this. In fact, we can even help you in some ways with getting this set up in your CRM that you get from KV Core. It's not too difficult to do, but we're here to help. So we're part of an extension of your team. Look at us as your business partners. We're here to help. So what makes a great mentor or business partner? That's me and Mike standing outside of his house in Dallas, Texas. We both now live in Puerto Rico. But a great mentor is someone who has accomplished what it is that you want to accomplish, and more importantly, has a track record for helping others do it too. I think when it comes down to like, can you really believe someone's going to help you or not, is have they done it themselves, and then do they have a system for how they helped others do it too? And when I explain all the systems and all the stuff you see here, I think hopefully your takeaway is, at least my goal was for your takeaway to be, is that, hey, you guys have systems for how to help people get through the challenging parts of growing your business. And so wherever it is you're stuck, I believe that financially it doesn't make any sense for you to be anywhere else other than EXP. And we would love for you to be partnered with us where we can add as much value as we can to your business. Next steps. So if you're ready to take the next step, and you can request, with whoever it was, the Honey Badger that shared this with you, let them know that you'd like to jump on a call. They would be happy to jump on a call with you, and we'd be happy to do the same if necessary to answer any questions that you have around what we do at eXp Realty or how we can help you with growing your business. So that's not the only reason top producers, mega agents, and independent brokers are linking arms with us. If you have not had a chance to watch the video that shares how we're going to help you grow your passive income through agent attraction and the revenue share model here at eXp, you can learn how to attract 1,000 agents to eXp without having to give the presentation, without having to answer any of your prospects' questions, and never talk to anyone who doesn't want to talk to you first with our agent attraction system that we built. One of the reasons we joined this company was because we saw the opportunity to build systems to help agents to attract other agents to partner with all of us together. It's a really fun thing to be able to do, is help agents and change people's lives. We do it together here at eXp in the Honey Badger group. So make sure you watch that video. I think it's the biggest, it is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen in my lifetime. And so I want you to understand it and make sure that you've at least watched that video if you haven't already. And that's all I've got for you guys here today. Looking forward to hopefully being in business with you and helping you take your business to the next level.